Oh no, ma'am. Oh no, ma'am. You ever catch yourself about to do some fuck shit, and then right as you're approaching it, you like, you don't need to be doing this fuck shit, and then you turn your little ass around. That's literally what just happened. Like, literally, my little ass need to be productive this morning, so I'm gonna be productive this morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. First of all, this video is going to be multitasking at its finest because I have so much to do, as if I didn't have 3 days off, like, consecutively. That'll be in the next video, but in this video, we're going to talk about the ending of a chapter. So I am finally, like, days away from transitioning out of my job, my current job, into a new endeavor. So this video is going to be the last video about that place, because I'm just ready to purge and move on. So this video is literally what leaving my job has taught me about myself, because I think it's very important to, like, self-analyze and self-actualize when you go through tough shit. Like, when you just go through shit that's just like, how in the fuck did I find myself all wrapped up in the fuck wraps? Like, how? It's time to sit down and go, boo, it was you. You had a lot to do with where you are right now. So I definitely just am sitting back and just taking it all in. So what prompted this is, first of all, I just got done my exit interview, and I actually sat down and wrote this video out, and I'm trying to get better and taking my shit a little bit more seriously. Although it's just me that I'm giving you, I can give you me in a more, succinct, clear, funnel version, because I might not be as clear as I think. So I just had my exit interview, and about 2 hours ago, and so these are kind of like the feelings and the thoughts and the good questions. Like, first exit interview I've ever had, so that's a great thing. Like, I was dreading it for like a week. So for it to turn out to be a kind of good and cathartic type of conversation, like, I'm definitely excited about what the future has to bring to me. So that's pretty dope. And then the second thing, before I jump into the 7 things I learned, the second thing I'm gonna kind of preface this with is, I've approached this ending a little differently than I've approached any other ending of a relationship or a job or a friendship, like, because they all have, outside of me being the common denominator, they all have, like, remnants or little fingerprints, or they just tell you something about who you are in relationships. So I approached this one a little differently than I've approached ones in the past. I've approached this one looking at, more focused on me and my growth from what I got from the situation, versus rather what I'm leaving and gaining by not having these niggas in my life anymore. Like, that's a very interesting, I don't know, it's like you're analyzing the same shit, you're just taking away something different from it. One second, I gotta clean my palate. Because what I've learned is, my ass need to have some coffee, because coffee is my shit. And then I also need to have something to cleanse my goddamn palate. So I'm working on it. But it's like you're analyzing the same shit. For example, instead of me saying, girl, I'm so happy I ain't gotta deal with this emotional ass bitch anymore, I'm in turn saying, okay, I realize that I deal with emotionally charged people in a very different way that may not be healthy for the emotionally charged person. So I need to figure out how to bridge that gap, or I need to figure out how to, solve that little thing in me. Or, now I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm not going to go ahead and go back on my defensive, fuck her feelings shit. although I still have those feelings. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But yeah. So I'm focused more on how the things I've learned about myself from this experience will make me the better person that I'm trying to be tomorrow. Like, and that's all I ever want to afford to anybody. If you take the time to listen to me. Like, today aids tomorrow. Tomorrow can't happen without today. So pay attention today, and don't worry about tomorrow. The shit will get there. Yeah. So 7 things. Let's jump right into it. Let's jump into it. 7 things that leaving my job has taught me about myself. So the first thing is that ending something doesn't always have to be so goddamn messy. It don't. Like, don't get me wrong. The petty person in me wanted to sit there and go, and this bitch, and let me tell you, and then did I tell you about them racist ass jokes I had to go through? Oh my God, bitch, you left. I had to tell Petty Ass G to take a back seat on this one, because that's not what it's about. Like, I'm trying to walk away from this situation as graciously as I walked into it. I want people to still echo my name, but in a different way. Like, yo, we didn't know what we was getting when we met Regina, but now that we've experienced Regina, like, we still don't know what the fuck we got fully. However, we appreciate it. And I'm okay with that. Like, that's an awareness and an understanding that I kind of just want motherfuckers to have when they meet me. Even if you can't resolve what the fuck I am in your life or to you, or what this experience was about, God damn it, at least appreciate the motherfucking experience. Because I did. I am. This is pretty good. I normally burn my cinnamon roll somehow. But I didn't this time. So I'm trying to walk away graciously. And I think the answers that I gave in the exit interview, and the way I've been carrying myself, still trying to get the job done, still giving a fuck. I think that that's important to who and what I am trying to convey that I am. Like, bitch, I care. I just care differently. God damn it. The second thing I learned about myself, excuse me, and it's like coming as a surprise to some people who know me personally, but it is a real life thing. I would describe myself as shy and not as confident about myself as the world tries to attribute to me. And that's normally where a lot of disconnect comes in my head. And like, I'm working on a project right now where I get to explore a lot of those feelings and thoughts and emotions. Because I know I'm not the only person in the world who's kind of experiencing that. I call it the imposter syndrome, and I think that's a real thing called, or a real thing out there. But like, that's what I'm just like dealing with. So it's important and okay for me to know that I should speak up for myself. If something makes me feel uncomfortable, it's okay for me to be like, hey, I don't like this. This don't work for me. I ain't vibing with this. Like, and I have to. For a person who's been so mistreated and misused, it's important to my betterment and my more stable being to speak the fuck up when I'm uncomfortable. So that's the fuck I did. I spoke up when I was uncomfortable. And that doesn't make me a bad guy just because my uncomfortability shines a light on something that may not be like 100. Like, it is important how you communicate those things, and I think that's what I guess walk away with a little bit more. And I always known that, but like, I feel like in this instance, I did put forth a lot of effort to put thought into what I was communicating. Again, it was just our personalities. I'm not, hey yo, I don't need the kumbayas. I'm figuring some shit out. But I'm not, don't, jeez, stop. Alright, I'm not being bitchy anymore. I'm just saying. But yeah, I need to, for my betterment, I need to be in a space where I can speak up and defend myself. So the third thing, and this kind of like, they both kind of tying to each other. That's why I'm rushing to number 3. Is that I can actually keep my goddamn emotions in check. And that is a thing that has been a point of growth and contention for me. And I'm not saying that I don't have emotions. That would be the dumbest, like, my generation, like these like mid to late 80s, early to middle 90s babies who want to keep saying, I ain't got no feelings, yo. You gotta have a heart and a soul to give a fuck about shit like that. Nigga, you need to cry. Like, shut up. You need a hug. Somebody needs to give your ass something. Now that you've had that emotional moment, communicate with that moment, clarify for you. Two separate things that I think the human body needs. You need to emote. You gotta let it out. But you also need to be able to communicate in a clear and safe, proper way so that everything and every living being around you can exist with you. That's all I was trying to do. Not give you my ball of fucking confusion known as emotions, because we all have them. And deal with that shit, but still communicate with you what I need from you in order for our relationship to work and see itself through. I realize in my experiences with human relationships, one of those two things are lacking or suffering or needs work in the relationship. And from my experiences, it's been hard for the person who is deficient in that area to work on it. Sometimes I've been a deficient person and capable of working on it. Yes, I'm on the emotional side. I know. Yep. And sometimes it's the people that I am involved with that lacks on the communication side. And it's not always communication. Sometimes it's been emotion. Sometimes it's been both. But for me, I think those two things go hand in hand, but they cousins. They didn't grow up in the same house, so you can't treat them the same. And, you know, communication is the big cousin that everybody run to when shit hits the fan. Because that motherfucker can, like, communicate the shit. Like, they can decipher the hood so nobody gets shot or arrested and everybody gets the help that they need. Like, we all have that cousin. Shit, sometimes I think I'm that cousin trying to be my other big cousin who I admire and love, and like I want to be her. Like, that bitch turned her life all around. I want to fucking be her. So, anywho, off of tangent, yeah, I gotta keep those two things separate to respect relationships, and I don't think that was a bad move to make, although it didn't work out in this situation. And I guess that's what I'm trying to funnel through with all those words. The fourth thing, and I'm happy I walked into this, and when I sat down, it was like, I'm gonna go ahead and produce this, or I'm gonna write this out so I can get it ready and then present it. I was like, I'm only do 7 this time. And I was like, nah, gee, let's go on and aim for the 10. And I was like, nah, you only gonna do 7. As I sat down and started writing that, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do the 10. Only 7 came out, and this is probably going to be more elaborated in the other video I'm about to record, but I'm walking into a space where I gotta trust myself, because I'm firing, and I gotta trust that, because if I personally keep dousing that flame, it ain't gonna keep reigniting itself. Like, I gotta stop it. Stop, dummy. So the fourth thing, I don't always have to be a part of everything I'm invited to. And I think that's not just a work lesson that has been coming clear to me. That has just been a cosmic lesson that has been coming clear to me as I'm moving deeper into 2019, whatever the fuck this year is for me. I've just realized that, like, yeah, I need to stop showing up for people. I just need to be like, oh no, yeah, no, okay, what you want? It starts at when? Oh, okay, girl, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Like, Because I told her no to this job a couple of years ago. And it's not like she ever stopped asking me. First of all, I should have known something was off when she met me as a store manager. We're on equal levels, and she said, "Hey, you want to come be my assistant?" What in the... How the audacity, bitch! I should have knew something was up then, but I didn't. Whatever, or maybe I did, and that's why I kept saying no. But I didn't trust myself enough to stick to my no, stick to my guns. When you're back against the wall, you need to like buckle down into your values, and that's something else that I'm working on in this new project. But yeah, like that's a thing. You need to buckle down into your values that you've been working to prove to be true, because that's the time to prove them to be true. Like, I don't need to keep going into arenas that I'm invited to just because I'm invited. The fucking lighting in that store. From the outside it looks dark. On the inside it's bright as shit. How y'all pull off this shit? Cause it's hell. That's my fault. That's my bad. That's my blunder. Hey. I'm not calling this place hell. I'm just saying it was hell for me. And that's not an exaggeration or trying to be all extra. Trying to be regular degular, as my homegirl keeps saying. And then being regular degular, yo, that shit was not for me. It was just not. The fifth thing is I have no ill will towards the bitch. Alright, only bitch because you got a vagina. My former manager, like, I have no ill will towards her. I appreciate her for getting me a job. I appreciate her for helping be a stepping stone for me to understand I need to budget better. I need to get my finances in order. You know, the amount of money that I fall into making is a decent amount of money to do the things that I want to do. I appreciate her for helping me understand those things. Like, and it's not like she taught me that. She was just like there. She was a doorway. Sometimes all I need is for somebody to open a door and get out the way, fam. Let me in. And that's all I need, yo. Let me in the room, and I got it from there. And I guess that's, you know, where our disconnect comes in. She let me in the door, but she didn't, like, she wanted to then hold my hand throughout the room. No, baby, let me, hey, you gotta let these wings fucking start to open up. They look small, fam. They do, I promise you. But it's like folded in and tucked up. Let me go and stretch out in the space that it takes and the time that it takes me to stretch out, and I got you. Now, I understand that I can't like ask for everybody to just fold and give me my way. That's what I compromise throughout the process. But like, communicate with me. But I have no ill will towards her. I just understand that, like, we're not all in water. We definitely all in vinegar. We have a place and we can work together, but we have our properties that make us what we are, like, and we just gotta respect that. So she chills. She chills. I don't have a problem with her. Maybe on some random, I ain't been hanging out with nobody, and I see her and she's like, you want to catch a drink? I may catch a drink. Like, yes, I'm very specific on the scenario in which that would happen, because I don't think I'm going to answer a text or something. Hey, you want to go out? No, I'm good. Like, I'm really good. Like, you give me too much time to think about it. I'm good. But yeah, I'm in the mall. She's getting off. She looking all sad like she be doing. Yeah, I'll catch a drink with her, because I ain't got to see her tomorrow. So I'll listen to you today. Because I'm a sweetheart. I just don't want to do that shit. I don't want to do that shit every day. It's draining to me. I need to figure out what that is. I need to figure out what it is that I want to love, and I have what it takes to love you through what it is. But after a point, I get so drained that I can't anymore, and I got to run away to a corner to recharge. Like, I got to figure out what that is, because I know that's a thing. It got to be. I feel it too intently for it not to be. We almost done. The sixth thing that leaving my job has kind of taught me and given me is that introspection through tough times is a great skill that I've always had, and I need to sharpen that tool. And like, I've been surrounded by a lot of people who haven't done that for themselves growing up a lot. Like I told a teacher or a mentor or somebody, like when I was like in middle school, 8th grade. So it was late middle school, because I was very cognizant of like what my brain was doing. And so I told them, I was like, every night when I go home, I kind of, look at myself and look at my actions of the day and look at what I did. And they was like, oh, that's not good. And I'm like, well, why not? Like, why shouldn't you try to aim to be better than you was the day before? And the only way you can do that is like studying. Like, that's all I know. And I've always had growing up as a child, I've always had a lot of adults who didn't like understand that in me. And then the adults who like kind of had a light bulb start to flicker because of that part of me. They then wanted to fight with me to some degree, because then I remember in high school, it was this sergeant who like, she always thought I was trying to fight her or debate her or argue her down. And it's like, no, I'm just sitting here thinking about the words that you said out your mouth and how that shit don't make sense. And I apologize if my like deadpan delivery makes you think I'm trying to fight. I'm not. I'm thoroughly confused. I'm very animated, and I'm sorry. I was born a fucking cartoon character, yo. I apologize, but like, what the fuck do you mean, dog? Like, the question is still on the fucking table. I'm confused. So those experiences has made me at this point go, oh no, that's a bad thing. You should not look inward. You should not like try to check yourself. Like, stop beating yourself up. Like, that's just horrible. Chill. So yeah, like parts of that, don't fuck yourself up in your head. Don't like go to the extreme of, bitch, you the worst thing ever in the world, because I've had those moments. Like, don't do that. But in turn, you do need to sit down and check yourself. Like, with this work experience, there were moments when I had to come home and like purge. So like, first starting with a cry and then getting a glass of wine because I'm mad at myself for crying about some work shit. And then as I'm drinking the wine, I'm sitting down like, all right, bitch, what really happened today? And like, for me now, self-actualization, because I've had all those things, or introspection, comes down to what happened in factual, absolute values. I fell down the steps. Not like that bitch pushed me, that bitch was giving me all this energy. Oh, no, what happened? What are the facts? What can a camera and like a third party person kind of check off and agree on? Like, did you have on a black shirt? Yes, I had on a black shirt. Like, what actually happened? And then the second column of my like introspection process, and I legitly write this shit down when I'm going through it, is what did I perceive happen? Because those are two fucking different things, especially when you're dealing with like your head. Like, especially when you try to figure some shit out. Like, in dissecting all this shit with this work shit, I'm about to go down the line of, do I got BPD? Like, nigga, am I sick? Not like, fuck it, am I sick? Like, do I need to go do some shit? And that's gonna come in a later video after I sit down and do some motherfucking research. But like, very plausible. So you gotta realize that sometimes what you perceived happened is just slightly off from what factually happened. And I apologize to the world that I can sit down and have that existential experience with myself. Like, I got to. Shit, it was a part of my survival. Like, if I didn't, then like, I didn't know what was going to trigger a bitch if I didn't. Just saying. So, the third column is, what is my desired outcome from this or resolution from this whole thing. Because, like, that's ultimately the end goal. You just want some shit to go away. Or resolve itself, will be easier to breathe through, or whatever. So, like, for me, and I think any breathing, living thing engaging with another living, breathing thing should take a moment to just go, all right, y'all, what? Huh? All right. Like, that's literally what the 3 columns are. What? Huh? All right. And I apologize, but I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to keep working at it. I'm going to keep sharpening that tool of introspection, because it's important. At the bare minimum, if I can do it and you can't, that gives me at least one more tool on my fucking Batman belt than you. And the last thing, the 7th, the most rounded thing. Maybe I only needed to do 7 because I need to balance my motherfucking chakras. Been working on it. I need to get my shit together. Number 7. As I become more balanced, who I am as a woman will become more clear. And I just have to be patient through that goddamn process. If you know me personally, though, you know patience ain't my thing. It ain't my strong suit sometimes. So, goddamn. Let's see, I've been falling short in this patience department for about 37 years. I ain't 37. I ain't nowhere near 37. I ain't nowhere near 37. If you know me personally, you probably rolling on the floor, because you probably know why I said 37 years. Jesus. But, like, if I can't be patient with myself, then how in the fuck can I be patient with anybody else? Yes. It's like the mother rule says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? I don't need an amen. I'm just saying. So if I can't be patient with myself, how in the fuck am I gonna be a mother and a wife and a better sister and a better daughter? Like, how do I achieve your patience is the thing that humans need. Like, patience is love. It is a part of it. It is a major component of it. I gotta afford myself that goddamn patience, because I'm gonna be alright. I'm gonna get through this. I'm working through it. I am dismantling and remantling. Like, just like I'm pulling some shit apart over here, I'm putting it together over here. Pulling some shit apart over here, putting it together. Oh, all right, let me go back over here and put some shit together, pull some shit apart. Again. But I gotta be patient through this journey. And I'm saying this work situation taught me that because my manager needed more patience from me. And, like, although I afforded what I had to give in the situation and what I was dealing with, in retrospect, I could always have given more. You can always do more. If you can look back and recognize where you fell short, you can always recognize where you can. That's the moment where you could have given more. And just because I didn't, couldn't, wouldn't, or shouldn't, in that moment, don't make me nothing going forward, because I recognize it. So I now have the opportunity to change it. I just gotta be patient with myself. So this is the last video I'm doing about that place. I thank them for the opportunity. Oh God, I do. You kind of just solved a problem for me. I can't work in confined spaces. I know that. Ooh, cubicles, small stores, anything like that. I'm just like, somebody help me, slip a throat, something. Yeah, I can't do small spaces. And I don't know, I'm claustrophobic just on some, I get bored. So, but I thank you. I humbly and graciously Thank you. We'll never say an ill word about anything or anybody in that situation. And if anybody takes my verbiage as ill, it's because they want it to be that. Because like always, as always, I want to leave everything and everybody with some light and some life. But most and fucking importantly, some love.